So, we are here to talk about the last days of Judas Iscariot with our two beautiful directors, Hannah, Theo. So to jump off, how did the two of you end up coming to work together on this project?
Hannah begged me for hours to take her, and I said, okay.
It's a lie.
You probably know, we worked in Macbeth together. We both were the assistant directors there. We got to actually get to work with actors and scenes more specifically. So I think that's when we were like, hey, maybe we can work in an actual project, like our project.
Gotcha.
Together.
And how did it end up being this play that you chose?
Theo was already reading it, and he suggested that I read it, and so I did that, and we talked about it, and we were excited about the idea of a comedy and the idea of kind of tackling the different themes of this play.
It's this idea of who you are a lot and what you deserve. This that comes back and forth all the time in this show.
This idea of self-acceptance and
yes,
and finding where the line of judgment is and trying to figure all of that out, I think is especially relevant to college students. But I also think that, and we've talked about this in rehearsal too, that there's an aspect of this play that asks us to question our current society and how it's structured and how it functions.
I think a lot of the time in a rehearsal room, cool things happen when things go horribly wrong or accidents pop up. Have any of those things happened as of late in this process that have totally kind of 180'd you on the way you've thought about specific things?
I don't have something specific, but I do think there have been a lot of moments where an actor or you have brought in something that I didn't think about before, and then it kind of 180's my position on who that character is or how we approach that scene, and I think that's always interesting. And I think that's just a result of having a very collaborative space.
Yeah. In this process, because there are two directors, sometimes that moment happens from Hannah, or for me to her.
Yeah. And what are some of those big ways that you find that you work very differently?
I have a tendency to ask a lot of questions and have a conversation about it, and he's much more blunt. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
This is what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we've also played the bad good cop every now and then,
Yeah.
which I've also seen it changing sometimes, which is not that interesting.
Refreshing.
We take turns.
It's refreshing. I never saw myself as a good cop.
Yeah.
Never saw myself as a bad cop. So.
Great.
You'd be
Great.
surprised.
Yeah.
As a whole, whether it's been in the department or not, what things in the classroom or training wise do you see yourself collecting to bring into this space?
This department in general it has this round kind of education thing that we're trying to do with theater. So the fact that you understand, I work in the shop, I understand that this whole thing, someone built it.
Yeah.
When you get to understand all these things and that it's not just you, it's not just the actors, it's not just the stagemans. When you get the larger picture, I think that's when you get to be more efficient and do better work and be more respectful of your colleagues, and I think that's very important.